listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Good evening. Welcome to Outside the Box. Yours truly, live at the helm, Kate of Gaia, here on criticalmassradio.co.uk. What are we going to talk about tonight? Boy, lots of weird, wild, and wonderful stuff going on right now, and my oh my, how quickly people get distracted and lose sight of what's going on and get all drama and fear porn and oh no, the world of Chicken Little, shut the fuck up. How's that work? That works for me, doesn't it? Anyway, yeah, the wolf is everywhere, guys, and they'll come guised up in meat suits, meat sticks, bodies of all manner, all shape, all form, and, part of your family, part of your friends, part of the work, part of everything you can imagine. Wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to want to entrap your soul and not put some serious effort into it. That's why I go back to Gravity Falls constantly, and the one thing that stood out most in every episode was the sign that said, "Trust no one." That includes me, because I can't say it often enough or strong enough. You have to be the one to save. You do not be deceived. The unsee truthers, deceivers, or deceivers, which is the of creating truth or not creating truth, right? Remember the quad nature of every word. Positive, negative, masculine, and feminine, right? It's really the only thing that I can share are things that I uncover for myself based on my own intuitive, and I share them. Cherry picking from wherever I see things that resonate, typically following the things that interest me, that resonate with me anyway, as something I dig, and not being distracted by the entertainment. The mirror of the mind. That's what entertainment means. Tain is mirror. And I make my own choices, my own decisions, my own understandings based on my own intuitive feelings by shutting off the ego stereo left brain that's constantly blaring at full blast. It's called emotions. And while that stereo is blaring, the very subtle tones of these entities that are sucking the life force right out of you cannot be heard. They're quite audible, but not at the levels your stereos are running at. This is why, I do weary of, people tagging me on Skype or Facebook or whatever the hell the case may be, dramatizing all manner of crazy shit. And that's all it is to me. If there's fear attached to it, that's a physical-based emotion. I'm going to say it again. How much fear does an immortal God or spiritual being have? Do we need to really go through what immortal means? Well, if you don't understand it, it's just saying that I'm mortal versus not mortal. So, again, quad nature, I'm modus operandi of the spirit, breath, and truth of creation of all, I'm Mo-Ro-Ti-Al, right? I can't stress this enough. I've been people tagging me regarding, oh, you're this, you're that, you're in danger. Shut the fuck up. Take your seeds that you like to plant and shove them up your own fucking ass, because I haven't got time for it. Right? I find it more than humorous and quite crazy when this stuff shows up. I'll tell you, the only thing that's going to make me question is, one, your intent, and two, your sanity. For anyone that even thinks or claims to know me over any length of time, really should know better. So before you shit your diapers and get all panicky, breathe. Think about what you're saying and what seeds you're planting. Are you willing to take the responsibility for those? Because every seed you plant, you're going to harvest. That's how the golden rule works. That which you wish upon another, you have wished equally upon self. Time to take responsibility for self. If you can't say something benevolent and creative, well, shut the fuck up. Does that spell it out for you? And on that note, let's carry it back. So I get questions on occasion regarding different individuals, different entities on this planet as far as, who they are, what they're really selling. And I'm asked for my opinion on things. Well, I have my opinion on on everything that I get asked. Of course I do. But sometimes the answer will be, well, I'm not sure yet. I haven't really felt that one out. But as soon as something enters my reality, I know it's for a reason, so I go and feel it out and see what I come up with. And there's a couple of standard things that I like to base my observations on from a neutral position. While everyone's running around being subjective to this literal nonsense and that literal shite, you're not being very objective. And to be objective is to stand over something, not getting emotionally involved in it, regardless of how crazy it might seem. Stand back and breathe and go, what do I need to see here without reacting to someone else's cause? And that's really as simple as it gets. It's one of the reasons, and probably the only reason why I've been able to decipher as much as I have. Because I don't get caught up in the mental whitewash that most people like to. I've lost count of the number of people that at one point in my life were very close only to be gone. For what reason? Well, I'll take the responsibility of not being a good enough teacher at that point. And the likelihood of them returning at this point, slim to nothing, and that's okay. All things are perfect, all things for a reason. I'll leave all sense of guilt with the physical fucking religiocosis chosenitis drilled into the religion, I don't care what religion it is, mental cases. Cointel Pro, how to spot Cointel Pro. It's really easy. But you got to get objective on this stuff. I'm just checking for something here right now. And I'll tell you, anybody that, fucking spammers. I've been getting hit with spam like crazy over the last few days. Few weeks, actually. That's how I know I'm making a difference. Some chick, Hannah B. Rasmussen, talking about pushing money on people. Oh, it's a great honor to testify to the Home Supported Program. They support our families in paying bills and build a good credit. Well, take your commerce, demon worship, and shove it up your ass, Hannah B. Rasmussen. Okay, click. Report as spam or abuse. That's what I think of it. I just get rid of it. But I put my intent out, you see, because anything I send out is contract. Any questions? It's the power you wield. And I've said this many times too. Kate, what kind of response did you get from that? So none. I don't expect any. And I don't need any to confirm that I'm right. I don't need permission to be right because I know I am. When I send something out, I send it out. Here is my awareness contract in my position of now, sent with the most benevolent intent to destroy all things that have malevolent intent. It's a pretty straightforward contract, if you want to call it that, and that's what it is. My intention goes out pure and simple. I don't care if somebody has an issue with it. I've only ever had a few responses in all the years I've been doing this. And the only responses I get are from retarded meat sticks. I'm going to sick a lawyer on you. Go for it. Make sure you send the stuff to them because this is the fuckers I want to get this information to wake them up. If you look at it, it's almost like college or university. You know how you go and you have to go and pick your classes, and you got people trying to recruit someone for this particular course and recruit for that and all the rest of it. That's exactly what these trademark demons are doing. Which club you want to join? This one's going straight to hell. Come on with us. It's got all the toys and all the gadgets and gadgets. Do you remember what happened in the Pinocchio story? All the lost boys that decided, the runaways and everything else, the rebels, the truthers, if you will, they all headed into the carnival. And every one of them except Pinocchio and Jesus Christ. Oh, Jiminy Cricket, same initials. John Carter, whatever, right? The only thing that saved Pinocchio was his conscience, or consciousness, the JC consciousness. Every other one of them turned into the asses that they were. And they got to be slaves. So for all you guys in the system, cops and all the rest of it, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a club you're going for. Have at her. That's what you want, obviously. By your actions, you're known. Ignorance is not a defense of it. It's not like we haven't told you. Have a look for yourself. Don't be such a retard. But if that's what you want, I'm going to unconditionally love you right to it. Knock yourself out. Not something I would do. Certainly not something I'm going to promote. What I am going to promote is your sense of pure perfection that is just going to get ripped and raped and pulled away. But then again, you've only got forever to think about it. So, that's going to be a longer climb out, don't you think? So how do you spot Cointel Pro, or as I call it, Cointel idiocy? It's one or the other. You're either a raving idiot or you've got an agenda. You're one of the recruiters. Something I posted today regarding trademarks. I thought, what a perfect way to permanently mark a demon. Because demons must have names. Cosmic law says, you're a demon, you got to walk around with a name tag if you're in this realm. So why do you think they want everybody to have names so you couldn't tell us apart? If everybody's got a name, well, everybody's a demon then, aren't they? The of me. Let's lose that, eh? Time to exercise your rights. As in the removal of a demon ritually. Exercise your rights. Because, excuse me. Here's a couple of things that I look for. I don't have to look anymore. I just feel it as soon as I read something. Or as soon as a post comes up. I'll cover a couple of shills that I know. People like Kevin Annett. I'm questioning a lot of others these days as well. People like Sasha Stone. Now, whether they're Cointel Pro or just idiots, I'm going to list them anyway. You got Tammy Pepperman. Yeah, I'm here to make friends. Did you know that? I'm here to be popular. Let me see. Right now, while Dean's in jail, I'll put him on that list. As soon as he wakes up, he'll be fine. Or if he doesn't, well, then we'll know who he is, won't we? I don't fucking care either way, personally. Who else? Let's get on the list. Winston Strout. I'm going to call them all out. I got to tell you right now, I don't know who the hell Santa Bonacci is, but I'll put him on the list. I think it's more out of ignorance, but hey, I've been known to be wrong. And that's okay, I don't mind being wrong. Egg on the face? No problem. Wipe it off. Let me see, who else we got? While we're at it, let's just fucking call them all out. Jordan Maxwell. It's only a few people. I got to tell you, I love Mark Passio, but until you lose that Second Amendment fucking meat stick gun thing, bud, you're on the idiot list. Boy, the list is short for people that I can actually look at and go, cool. Siobhan Bomer, Bill Donahue. Let me see. Who else? I'm sure we can think of lots of people here. Maybe I can get you guys to ask some questions tonight. Michael Tellinger, there's another good one. There's a guy that just knows a little too much. Too many things. Okay. Here's the things I look for. Just run these through your fingertips. Some of these people I've met up close and personal. Some I've talked to for years. Okay. Are they selling vengeance? Common law court, we're going to go in and take care of business. Yes, you are, vengeance boys and girls. How about physical techno-shite? We're going to save you with free energy. Financial security. OPPT, stuff like that. Nasara. The dinar. Bitcoin. Swiss Indo. How about legal remedies? Anybody that's involved in let's just put the whole fucking list down. Free man on the land movement. Sovereign citizens. I'm writing this stuff down because when I cast spells, I cast them hardcore. Freeman, sovereign, slaves, citizens, same thing. Don't know who they are. Because I'll guarantee you, if any one of these individuals is still using a name, well, you're either a demon by omission or commission. So I'm just going to tell you that. Let me see, what else we got? Legal remedy, there's a good one. Anything with a savior external, trying to save you from the outside, that includes all clergy. At this point, until they wake up within, all police, lawyers, judges, kings, queens, lawyers, judges, etc., presidents, prime ministers. That includes groups like CIA, FBI, CSIS, Mossad, any of these organizations that are working on the behest of their masters. And there's not many, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of planetary, there's not many of the key entities that are running these little rah-rah cult clubs. But I will tell you that there are many, far many more, that get bought and paid for with their egos, because they're stuck in a meat stick, right? So they can be bribed with things like holidays and really big incomes and cars and yachts and everything else. And then all of a sudden they start getting into their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s and dropping dead. And what do they know at that point? Well, they know that they've sold out, right? And here's the thing. When you sell out, no put options on this one, baby. Things like fame, anyone that's after fame, to be in the spotlight all the time. This is exactly what I didn't want. All right, so look for these things. But anyway, there was a post regarding some Texas senator that had her name trademarked, and intuition went out. Hey, well, we've been really exposing the name thing in terms of what they are as demons, and your demon name tag, your mark of the beast. Well, wouldn't it make a lot of sense that those that have to be seen, well, then you're going to start seeing the trademarks popping up on their name. So I would be very cautious to anyone that has a fictitious legal trademark beside their name, because 1, it's nonsense. 2, it's system. 3, you can't trademark something that isn't yours. So you're in spiritual fraud at that point anyway. I've said that for years. I got to tell you guys, there's not much I continue saying that I haven't said for years. And I constantly ask myself, why am I doing this? Bob, we need to talk, because I'm really wondering, why the hell am I doing this? Is it for self-gratification? Not at all. It's just my role as far as I see it. And I'll play it until it doesn't need to be played anymore. But, these entities typically attach themselves to topics and causes to lure the attention of their cult or their particular group they want. Like take the likes of a Kevin Annett, Here's a guy that comes with a great cover story, and this is going back to the 90s, early 90s, and attaches himself to the Canadian Native genocide cause, and which is noble, of course. People are going to resonate with that. Entire cultures, there's many people in the Native community can know who this guy is and can see right through him. I've had a few of them on the show. I often found it interesting, or not interesting, but a little bit disconcerting that no sooner did I hear about some witness that had seen a crime committed by the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh, fucking wankers, that this witness all of a sudden shows up dead. They're murdered by cops in front of a church, in the case of one, and, killed outright. I think there's at least 6 witnesses that I know of, or 6 people that were attached to Kevin Annett that died before giving flesh testimony. And anyone who knows anything about this game knows that any written testimony is dead. Paper can't talk. The one reading it out is the one's voice that's carrying, not the one that actually saw it. So it's empty and dead. Dead men tell no tales. That's why you got to get your bulletproof monk on, babies. You better lose that name right quick, and you better get the concept right quick, too. This game's wrapping out. I don't know if you've noticed it lately. I mean, hey, what's the latest? I went to the garbage can today. I like to check the bin on occasion. They've got, I don't know who this, what's his name? He's got to lose the fear porn. And again, they're still pulling these people in. Kevin Annett, eyewitnesses to Pope Bergoglio rape of teens, killing and eating babies, and satanic ritual. Yeah, you know, these people that are attaching themselves to this need to have their heads examined. You know, here it is in a nutshell, guys. I've seen people that were expressing truth to a much lesser and what I would deem to be less dangerous position than the likes of Kevin Annett, and this guy's allowed to walk around the planet. Gets held once at customs in the UK and gets sent back out. Big deal. Not like he's paying for the tickets. I don't know where this guy gets the money to jet set, but whatever. Certainly wasn't from donations. Well, not from donations of people that can afford a jet-setting lifestyle like he's been doing. Yeah, I don't know. And again, I've been up close and personal to the likes of Kevin Annett. And no, it's all right. I trust my intuition. And quite frankly, the guy fucking creeped me right out the time I came within his aura. I didn't say anything because I questioned myself. You know, I'll always doubt myself first. Oh, it's me. It's got to be me. But it wasn't. And that proved itself out later anyway. And remember this, the brighter light you shine, the more dark you're going to attract. So you better get your wits about you. You better wake up. You better not get caught up in the fear porn dramas. Because as soon as you get into this mode, you're not worried about Cointel Pro in terms of cell towers and HARP waves and all the rest of the created physical effects to affect someone stuck in a physical fucking mindset. Meat sticks need guns. Gods don't. Now, if someone can disprove that for me, what does anyone need anything if they're immortal? What do they need? I mean, that rationalizes out quite nicely with any bickering, snickering ego. Well, if something is immortal, it can't be harmed. It doesn't need weapons. And if it's immortal, that's not something or someone you want to mess with. And that's exactly what's getting robbed from humanity. Their very immortality, and it's getting drained away drip by drip by drip. And it's all because of, oh, look over there, that's shiny, oh, that's shiny, oh, that's shiny. Let's run there and let's follow that cause. That's why they're called causes, guys. You don't go support an effect, you go and support a cause. What does that tell you? It tells you right out. If you're supporting cause, it ain't your fucking cause, is it? Because you didn't come up with the idea, did you? So whose idea are you feeding? So I'll tell you all these people that are, you know, following the causes of things like Swiss Indo and Nasara and OPPT and Dinar, you name it. Any of these causes, the free energy SS movement, you know. It's not your energy that's going to be used as cause. You're just a battery going into the battery pack. And the more batteries they can get in the battery pack, the more power that cause has. So imagine there's a few, I don't know, say a few 100,000 of these particular cause-type cult leaders. If they can get your attention, what's going on? Well, they're putting a hell of a lot of batteries into their cause, are they not? So the more batteries you can collect, the more power you get. And when you hook things up in series, which is the way it works, you get volt built upon volt, built upon volt. But here's the neat thing. All you got to do is take one of the batteries out of the series and the whole thing follows. That's why when you stand together at this table shoulder to shoulder, we are hooked up in parallel. So you can take any one out of it and the rest of the power still remains. And to run parallel, there's your duality put together. Another little allegory, if you will. You are part of the circuit, but separate, complete. Because I'll tell you this right now, I don't want any fucking followers. And the minute somebody says they want to be a follower, the minute they get pulled out of the parallel circuit and thrown in the garbage with the rest of the cult Go feed that. And by the way, go and you're powerless now. Your battery's useless to any other cause. Because I don't want you creating any harm in anybody. It's very, very, very straightforward. And again, I wish no harm upon anyone, including this whole list. If they're just idiots, great. Wake up. And if they're not, you're fucking toast. Black, white. There's no redeeming evil. Sorry, I don't cash that kind of shit in. You know what I'm saying? I cash it out. So here we go again. What are they selling? They're selling vengeance. Oh, we're going to set up the World Common Law Court through the ITCC bullshit. No, you're not. You're still using the name, asshole. You're still a demon. And I don't know, shit, how long people have to be around me? 3, 4, 5 years? Before they actually figure out that lose the name, win the game, actually means something? How many people do we have to come and bring to this table telling the exact same story that I tell? Yeah, holy shit. No name, no game. Well, because you stopped handing out the password to your computer so they can't access your hard drive and milk your battery dry. Because I'll tell you, you give someone a password to your computer, chances are they're going to throw a virus or two in there. So you best get your hard drive sorted out, password protected, and you don't tell a soul that. And that password that you have, the very name that you cannot utter because only you can hear it, is that beautiful frequency that's going up right now. And only in the silence can you hear your own name. And it's one that only you will know. That's why the name of God is unknowable. It cannot be given to another. Name means way. You have only one way. No one else knows your way. Not even you. But you do know that if you let the cab driver, your higher self, the true spiritual aspect of you, the true God nature of you, you hand the helm over to that. Well, you do it all the time. You do it unwittingly. Typically, you'll find yourself driving down a highway for 10, 20 miles, and you'll think, wow, how did I get here? Because you can't remember the last 10, 15, 20 miles. You were off playing with yourself in space world. And you think, holy shit, guarantee you, that was probably the safest that car would ever be. Because the real you was driving. So these are the little things I try to get the attention put onto for your self-preservation. It's got nothing to do with me. The only thing I do is I have experience, and then I write it down, and I go, this is what I found here, here, and here. Have a look, see if that resonates. And lo and behold, the stuff we talk about at this table actually works on a spiritual level. So don't be Skype texting me saying, oh, your life's in danger, Kate. No, it's not. Don't be putting it on Facebook. Oh, my God, you don't know what's going on. Which assumption and presumption will I shred? I love people that assume and presume I haven't seen something already. Did I mention at any point that this is all I do? 12 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a fucking week? I might have noticed it. I will challenge anyone coming to this table. Do you do the same? There might be a couple that do. That's why this very table exists, because this table is the cutting edge of consciousness, and each one of you is completely independent in a parallel circuit of intent of benevolence. No, you're not drawn in and getting drawn from. Your energy is kept. The intention is about putting all of the energy of benevolence together and individually at the same time. Have you ever heard me mention anything regarding a singularity? You might have. If there's anything I stress, is singularity. See both sides till you get the puppy balanced out. And once you get it balanced out, you'll be fine. You won't have to ask me questions all the time, and it's okay. I do get it. It's like Mary calls me a spiritual bully, which I am, absolutely, and I agree. We have a good giggle about that all the time. I'm going to tell you why. It's because you matter that much to me. It matters not how much I matter to anyone else. It only matters to me what you matter. Because I know you're me, so what the hell? It's not rocket science. We'll leave that for the techno geeks and the Atlanteans that have spent so much time destroying themselves. Carry on, as you were. That's your wish, granted. I'm okay. Hate to see you go, but, I'm not going to trespass in that. It doesn't matter how close anyone is to me, or was, or will be. No, I'll make grown-up choices. I'll make responsible choices. And I'll let the physical drama kings and queens nitter-natter, pitter-patter around with their shit-filled whippers, throwing them at each other, and that's okay with me. You can take your dramas and shove them in that really shitty diaper that you've got and give it a good hard squeeze. Make sure it's nice and messy. Because I'll tell you, I want to be able to smell you a mile off versus even need to feel you within 100 feet. No, do not go gentle into that dark night. You go into the dark night with a with a club. You go in with Thor's hammer, because there's the joy of truth, and that's the allegory of Thor's hammer. Thor's hammer is truth. That's why when he sets it on top of Loki, Loki can't get up. No one can wield that hammer but Thor, because Thor was worthy. It's the allegory of someone who stands in truth and in benevolence can only wield that hammer. Yeah, he's a bit of a drama queen in the movies, but that's just movies, right? It's the allegory of the story. You don't get caught in the dramas. There was something else I was just thinking I wanted to bring up, and it went in one ear and out the other, so I'll see if I can catch that download again. But had a great time last night hanging out with a bunch of people in Toronto, and it's wonderful to watch people gather together with common ideals and common goals, working together from different perspectives. And there's that whole singularity within the community. Each one plays their own role, but they do it together. Neat how that works. Almost the same as a table, right? Okay, it's the same as a table. But I did have a lot of fun last night, and I'm still getting used to getting into social gatherings with people, because it's been a very singular walk where I've been interfacing with minimal-sized groups at any given time. Did a few things late last year, and as far as events go. But I got to tell you, it was just nice to have a sit around in a powwow with 12 to 15 people. And effectively, while the Babylon Has Fallen show was being rerun last night, there was another little live show, totally not my expectation, but always seems to turn out that way. Hanging out with people that, like us, are hungry for the truth, and as soon as it hits them, it sinks in immediately, and there's no fighting with this anymore. Those that are really awake and really wanting truth, they hear it immediately, and it just resonates and it sits. You're not having to pull hen's teeth. This is one of the reasons why I'm not going to even think of sitting down with a bunch of ego freak free men. Well, shelter for value. I'm going to use a promissory note, and we're gonna discharge this debt through a trust fund, and Winston Shroud is my god. Get your peanuts, get your popcorn. Come on over here to this cult. We'll keep you spinning with your greedy little bastard ego, and you will love me for it. Again, I urge people to go and read Ninja's Pedestals article that she wrote, essay, poem, prose, art. You can call it whatever you want. I just call it pure common sense. It's one of the reasons why I still get surprised when people call me either on Skype or on a phone or whatever, and I answer it, and they're like surprised that I answer it. I know it's because you've been so used to having people say things and totally bullshit you. I'm just one of you. Phone rings, I'm sure at your place you'll pick it up, yeah? Doesn't matter if I sit at this table, doesn't matter what's attached to this body in terms of map reference. Call it Kate of Gaia, call it whatever you want. Call it mouthy tranny, call it stubborn Irish bitch, I don't care. Doesn't matter. Whatever it takes for you to map reference me, the real me, the name that, you know, what was the Harry Potter line? He who shall not be named? Well, let's make it accurate. It who shall not be named. Did you miss the allegory? Right? It's the pro se who shall not be named. The for himself, herself, itself. That's you. The perfect you. Who shall not be named. You know your way. It's like when a cop asks for, what's your name? What they're really asking you is, are you the way of the whore of Babylon, and do we own your soul, demon? Or are you free? And look how many people, we're talking just everyday people. I'm an everyday people. And look at the fucking nightmare I went through. And people like Kevin Annett and others are walking this planet, trapping millions, if you will. Anyone else pushing the Swiss Indo-Jesuit agenda? What was today supposed to be? Canonization of two saints. Sorry, the two doofuses that you're trying to canonize as saints, I don't seem to recall them giving up everything and just trusting in the universe. As far as I'm concerned, they put on the nice, pretty robes and got their little Pope-mobiles and all their little fixins, just like Mother Teresa. She didn't go to one of her hospitals. No, she had the best care because she's a frugal, wealthy, dead cunt. That cleared up for you. Empty. Mother Teresa, yeah. Told you I'm here to make friends. I've already said that. I'm not here to win a popularity contest. I'm here for truth. And I don't care how much hate from an ego I can generate. If I can generate enough hate of an ego, it might wake it up enough to have a look. I don't take anything personal. I'll leave that for meat sticks. I'll call anybody or anything out. Here's a table. Come and sit with me. It's a simple deal, though. Just because you can talk faster and louder and not let anyone else's voice be heard doesn't make you right. It makes you an egotistical idiot who is so desperately afraid to lose. You won't give anybody a chance to speak while you use idiotic nonsense defenses from a physical effect meat stick perspective that says you're simply in the drama. Wake the fuck up. Wakey. Get off the Valerian. It's not working. No. I don't do the dramas much. Can't do it. Hello, Michael. How are you? Let's get these mics open.
Aloha, Kate. Beautiful.
Ah, you know me, right?
No, I'm glad. I started doing that the other morning, the other dawn. It's just like, all right. You guys are throwing enough stones at the so-called masses. Let's direct this to somewhere who are, in a way, leading the masses, who we feel, look, all is self. So like you say, Kate, we're not trying to beat these guys up. We're not drawing a line between you need to wake up and you don't. It's for all. But when you're purportedly assisting people to wake up and you're still playing this fame game, money game, legal game, whatever you want to talk about, it's just like, no, you're actually, whether you know it or not, doing the opposite. Maybe that's what that person needed, but you weren't advertising that. You were advertising that you were truly going to, bring assistance to them. And, to each his own. Responsibility falls back on self, of course. But I got to look at some of these guys, and I'm like, well, what are you filling people's heads up with this time? Like, seriously. And for me, when I peel it back another layer, I'm like, this is what I like about the Ubuntu movement at least, that they do come right out and saying we don't want a world without money. It's all sharing. It's all about that heart again. So they at least have part of that basis right. And I give it. I give
no,
it.
I don't. Mike. No, as far as I'm concerned, Michael Tellinger is one of the biggest Cointel pro boys out there, and I will not support anybody who's looking at any form of government office,
right.
any form of hang on, Mike, let me just finish this, because there's a very important point here that you've already touched on. Here's the trick that these monkeys use. If I can give you just enough candy floss and sparkly toys that you can win to get you in my playground, that's all it takes. And then your ego will take over from there to justify why you did it, because you can't be fucking wrong. Your ego can't be wrong. So it's a catch-22, damn if you do, damn if you don't. So suggestion, if it's got anything popcornish or candy floss flavor to it, promising you this, that, and the other, and they'll give you just enough truth to get it down your gullet, to get the hook in you. And when they pull that reel, welcome to your donkey ears, your donkey ass, and your donkey face. That's it. No, any of this Ubuntu shit and the rest of this, I got to tell you something. For a guy that is as well versed as Mike Tellinger, he seems to know an awful lot about an awful lot of things. And very, very, I watched all these people, and they came out at just the right time when certain things were happening to take the spotlight away. I know, because here I am screaming the same thing, and it's like, guys, everyone goes running off. Oh, look, he's doing this. Oh, look, someone's doing that. And it's like, all right, well, whatever, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. I'll wait till, maybe people won't buy into the bullshit, It's like, natives can cry all they fucking want about the white man coming here. You're the one that bought the fucking goods, didn't you? You should have just ran the motherfucker through and sent them back. That includes the Irish, too, because we're right next door to a lot of that shit. We've been, treated as slaves for 1,000 years. So anyone in any other countries that got railroaded later, cry me a fucking river. At least we're still fighting. You guys are giving up for the white man poison. How to stop an advancing native army. They throw out a fucking government check and they collapse like a wet paper bag. And that applies to every native. I don't care, white, black, brown, green, orange, whatever the case may be. I'm calling a spade at this table, and don't be thinking I won't.
Hold on, kid. I got to give you a title to go along with that.
Which one? I love. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kate, for clarifying that. So, yeah, you hit it right on the net. Might be some throw the line out there, hook you in, and give you your ears and your tail. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
we're
come
still
on to the
there.
playground.
So, I saw a picture. I don't want to say his name, but he's another guy from the motherland we call Africa. And he had a new photo up there, and my words were, and I almost wrote it, poser. Not only are you posing in this picture, you're showing me that you're a poser.
Okay, well, Mike, at this table, tell you what, to save you the bother, how about, you secretly type it to me, and I'll call the motherfucker out.
Oh, shit, I'll do it.
Would you?
Sasha, quit being such a poser.
What? Sasha who?
Stone, come on.
Well, yeah, man, I've been calling that monkey out for ages. Andrew Bartzis did everything in his... I was supposed to be on a show with Santa Bonacci, Sasha Stone, Andrew Bartzis, and a couple others, and one other whiny native cunt who I ended up hanging up on because I just can't handle the bullshit anymore. Okay? Cry me a river. Oh, I'm such a victim. Yes, you are. Fuck off. Goodbye. Okay. No, I called Double Eyes. Have a look at some of the stuff with these guys. I called Andrew Bartzis out on live on the air on this. Because I was supposed to be talking with Sasha Stone and Santa Bonacci, and the last thing that they wanted me to be was in the middle of that, because the only thing they were interested in was getting all of the followers of Santa Bonacci on side with the Sasha Stones. And God loves Santa Bonacci, heart of gold. I don't know who is there right now. I got my own theories, but I'll tell you right now, it's not the Santo I know.
Kid, I reckon this sometimes, and I say to friends, and for myself and my experiences, if you were there with me, I'll remember you. And if you weren't, I'm not knocking you, but quit pretending that you're leading this edge of consciousness when actually you're, dragging your ass and trying to bring others with you down.
Yeah, go hang out with the Dalai Lama. There's a guy that thinks that you need to take the spirit and put it in an immortal physical thing. Yeah, there's a leader of the spiritual world, wanker. I mean, you might as well call them what they are. Bunch of fucking Atlanteans that screwed things up. That's the heart that got ruptured. When the heart gets ruptured, that's where the space-time continuum splits and the demons come in. The demons are within you. You got to purge them out of you. You better close that heart up right fucking quick. And I'm not saying shut it off. What I'm saying is close it up. Get your spirit ears on. That's your intuitive. Get your Sphinx going, your heart and your womb. Your Leo and your Virgo. You better get your Sphinx in motion. You can't do that until you're silent.
Close your sphincter, people. Close your sphincter.
You got it. Well, there's 4 sphincters in the heart. There's one on your asshole and one in your mouth. Which one's doing the talking? Any questions? I didn't think so. Pretty clear cut, I think.
I had this friend of mine. He's still out there, man. His name's Rocket Bubba. And he always would have a lungi or a sarong, and he'd always brush his seat off wherever he was going to sit and put down his towel. And I asked him for different reasons why he's doing this. 1, he's just, cleaning the seat. 2, any residue energy. 3, and he didn't really get deep. He just do it yourself and find out. And it's the idea that you just remind me of, like, Meat Puppet. It's just like, this is what's been happening to us. We eat the system bullshit, for example, and it's like reaches its hand up through our friggin' ass, and we walk around literally like meat puppets. And it's a fucking sick, man, actually. But that's what's happening, man. And you hear the bullshit come out of, my mouth even sometimes. I'm like, where the heck? Michael, close your sphincter, start talking, letting somebody talk through your ass out your mouth.
Yeah, and not to be left off the list there, we got the Heather Tukey Giraffe, and we got Karen Hoods. The list goes on and on. And I'll tell you, anyone that's connected to any of these people, snip, snip, snip. Enjoy your fall. Because I'll be goddamn, I'm going to hold you up. It's not my job anyway. It's not my concern. So I stay the course. It's not like I don't say it loud enough and often enough. Choose for yourself.
Okay, we talk about coming together. And, and this is what I love about the Emerald Table. It is open to all. Look, you want to come together and talk to other points of consciousness all over the world, any day of the day. I don't know, but every day, here it is. I don't know anyone else, any place else at the moment where it's a daily come to the table, family, come. This is a family table for all. We're not excluding anyone. So if you got something to share that you think is you want to share with all points of consciousness, come to the table and share it. Or do I have to come to your door and give you money for it? So I'm not denying you to whatever you want to choose to do, but hey, come to the table and share. Don't give me, I got this new thing and it's going to come. You know what I mean? It's like your friend. It's like you meet him down, you go down the park or whatever, and he's like, yeah, man, I got this great idea. Yeah, share it. No, I can't share it with you. I got to go over here and share it. Like, what? This is what I get with a lot of so-called spiritual teachers. I'm like, man, you guys just closed so many doors and you're pretending to be open. And I'm like, maybe you don't know it. Maybe you weren't aware. Maybe you didn't talk with enough people to share their perspective, to see other perspectives, and you always played the teacher role. And so you're selling a program, and you never stop listening to others to learn yourself. This is what I feel. And I'm like, come to the table, listen. You're going to hear a bunch of different people, and it's going to resonate with you or not. But maybe it shines light, I have a feeling, on other points of your consciousness. Because otherwise, I'm like, guys, catch up. We're here. Most of us are up here. Yeah, we have our individual unique stories where on different parts of the onions we got to peel. But in terms of, I listen to some of these guys, I'm like, have they not tuned in to, I just don't want to say the table here, but to, we don't even have to give names, Kate. I'm pretty sure there's somebody, man, woman, nature for sure, sharing the same message. It's because it's coming from the heart. And when we look at the, let's call it the, I don't even want to give it a name, but people in general in the spirituality, when I hear certain things from them, I'm like, you're still thinking that? You're still buying that old program? I'm kind of surprised. I'm like, haven't you heard this, not even new information? Haven't you remembered this yet? And then I'm like, it's April, guys. This is 4 months of this 2014 whatever. And I'm like, and you're still believing that old bullshit. Oh, it's really surprising to me. And, I'm feeling it right in my gut here. That's surprising to me. And I'm not talking the so-called masses who are watching the TV. I'm talking the people who are sharing with the so-called masses this message of truth in the heart. And right here, it surprises me, Kate.
Well, yeah, and people got to start losing the fear of well, I don't want to be looked at as being, someone that's not part of the peer pressure club, and I don't want to be, seen as not really get along with everybody by calling out assholes when they need fucking calling out. It's what I do.
Okay, we don't need to call it even, that's that. It's pretty simple as that.
Mike,
truth, that isn't.
Hang on, just remember what I do here. I'm a goat getter, right? Can I get your goat? Come on to the table. Let's play. Can I play with you, Loki?
And so if I had a kind of big ego or a little ego, and it was just like, oh, you provide this service to help me get my ego in line? Please. And you're offering it for free? Really? Fuck. What's the number? But no, they don't. You know what I mean? I'd be like, hey, if there was somebody or a table we could all join and, kind of open up our hearts and see where the bullshit lies within us so we could clear it, man, sign me up. I'm here. So where are these other guys that I'm saying? Because you still hear stuff that, I hear things that I get reminded of some of the things I've forgotten. I was just like, oh, yeah, I forgot that. I was believing that bullshit again. Because somebody reminded me of a truth. And I'm like, thank you for reminding me of that truth. Man, I knew that one. And then, but I've been playing, like, for example, for a few years without that. And this is where I'm at. We're at a level of clarity now. Like, game over, and people are still playing the game. I'm like, guys, do you realize game over? Quit playing with the dead fictional reality. Come over here. Because if you keep playing with it, I'm going to call you out. And, well, as Kate says, I'm going to wave goodbye to you soon, actually.
That's the game, guys. You got to get your own strength, and you don't come to this table to join it. You come to this table to be completely individual at it, to share. We bring everything to this table. We throw out all the shit, all the garbage, and we pick through for the gems that we can all resonate with. That's called a collective effort from an individual perspective. It's the all-in-one, one and all at the same time, the singularity table. It's one of the reasons why I have no issues calling people out. Because, one, I don't know who they are, but I do know them by their actions. And the actions speak louder than any words ever could. So for me, it's quite simple. I'm not here for the Miss Congeniality Award. And one of the reasons why I'm very reluctant to start talking anywhere, because the truth of the matter is, once I get going, you can't shut me up. It's my own worst nightmare. So I get it. It's all good. But I'll tell you, if there's anything attached to it that has any trinkets of any kind whatsoever, in a physical sense, you better run away as quickly as you possibly can. Because I'll tell you, that's a hook that's getting dropped into you. Can that carrot, that's the karo rot, can the spirit of spirit breath rot get you? And get your donkey walking in that direction. These words are not coincidental in their sounds, and it's when you start seeing it, you start seeing the cosmic joke, which is even funnier to me because the more I see it, the more I see people getting duped by it, the funnier and more frustrating it gets. At the same time, it's a perfect singularity. It's mindless psychobabble. It really is, you know. And just 1 sec, Mike. I just want to make sure I've got 757. Your mic's open, and 603. Richie's there. 757. I should know that number by now, but my apologies.
Hi, Kate. It's me and BA.
Hey, how are you doing?
I am doing great. How are you?
Good. It's me over here too.
I'm loving every word that you're saying. But what I want to say is this. It's like the program to be without money for 99.9% of people that call themselves awakened is fucking just about impossible for them because they just cannot see a life without the things that is connected them with the name that they don't think that they can escape it. They just don't think they can. So their thought process of thinking that they can't do it is not allowing them to get rid of their fear.
Agreed.
And that is the main thing. It's like a paralytic. It's like they're paralyzed. It's like they're awakened, but they're fucking paralyzed.
Oh, you nailed it. And that's the biggest thing we're going to run into here. And this is one of the reasons why I make a point of, just for some funny reason, the homeless professional bag lady, mouthy trainier, hostess chick thingy, is able to bring abundance wherever I go. I wonder why that is. I haven't had a paycheck in over 4 years, almost 4.5 years. I haven't had an income. Does that tell anybody anything? Oh, no, the ride has not been the most comfortable, I assure you. But this wasn't your ride, so quit thinking you can get in my car because you can't. It's mine. You got your own. Everyone thinks you got to do the same thing. No, you don't. I've already done this. You don't have to. Sorry, we don't do reruns in the God has its own name. You know, you don't have the same name as me. You don't have the same way as me. You have your own path. You know what? Get out of my. I don't have any passengers in this car. I am the passenger. You got your own. We'll drive side by side. No question there. But the last thing I want to offer up anybody is a crutch or somewhere to, excuse me, somewhere to pretend there's another savior coming to save their sorry asses when all they need is a mirror. And we give them all the proofs they need. But I totally agree with you. That is the paralyzing fear that people have because they're trying to create a new reality with old thinking. I think Einstein said it best. You can't do that. You got to get new in your thinking.
Yep.
Yeah, Jesus said, I think, too, you can't put new wine in old wineskin or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that kind of follows the same
It's
line
the same.
Hey, yeah. Hey, go into a jet fighter, right? Hit the eject button without a parachute. then we're talking. Then we're playing ball. And you know what, Kate? Oh, yeah, I love everything that's being said right now. And that's the part that what part of you are not physical do you not get? You know, it's like this colostrum that I'm in, right? Because Halloween's every day in my experience here, right? It's a colostrum, right? I mean, and it's been said, and I'm sure we're going to say it a million times, you know, we're in this world, right, in this physical body, but we're not of it. Right? You know?
Guaranteed.
It's a complete friggin' illusion. Nothing physical is that's the game.
Do you remember the comment I was talking about, the dive buddies? We'd say, oh, you got scuba nose when you take your mask off? I don't know if you heard that. Okay, well, the allegory of that is quite simply this, is every one of us is walking around with a physical mask on. And everyone is terrified to take their mask off because someone's going to go, scuba nose. That's what dive buddies do because we love each other this way. I had a beautiful comment made to me last night from Troy. And it's a very simple, very subtle thing. And I always knew it was in the back of my mind. So it wasn't new to me, but it was brought into a new moment of now for me to remind me. When I tell people, come on, guys, this is so easy. Anyone can get it. And the simple fact is, if people don't get it, then they're going to start demeaning themselves. And that's quite the opposite of the intent that I'm putting out. So I want to make sure that people know this. Simple at this level is not an easy thing to grasp, because it is so easy, and we have been working with complication after complication for our entire programmed lives by the system. This is why you have to forget everything the system ever put into you. Wipe your canvas clean. The answer is so mind-numbingly simple, and all you have to do is meditate on this. No name. There is nothing in this system that can come anywhere near you. I don't care if your house is registered, your kid registered. Once you get this, all of that is nulled and voided, but it can't be done until you get it. You are the PowerPoints. Once you know this, I'll give you. Willie had a great story. I talked about art myself. Look, what happened that Friday night? I'll use myself as an example again. What happened that night? I'll tell you what would have happened to a free man or someone that still didn't know who they were and still had connection spiritually. And I'm not talking physically here. Spiritually to the name. The contract breaks in your heart and mind, not on a piece of paper. You got into the deal by agreeing to it with your heart and mind, albeit in ignorance, but you get out of it in all knowing. You know it's fraud. You don't need to carry it. You are completely bulletproof. And again, I go back to the allegory of someone who thinks they know who they are, walking around with some form of ID in their purse or wallet. It's like an alcoholic walking around with a 40-pounder stuffed in their bag, just in case. It's insanity. You shit or get off the pot here. It is that simple. And Willie was a great example of the brush past. You will be tested in this. The watchers are here to test. You got them working for both sides. Remember, there's referees in this game. There has to be. Can you imagine any game involving two teams without a referee? Imagine a hockey game in Canada. There wouldn't be any goals. There'd be too many fucking boxing matches going on in the rink. Same with football. Look at the anger and aggression these guys are filled with. Someone pisses off another. The next thing you know, it's a bench clearing. The watchers, the referees are here. And you better know this. And don't worry. They have to look after each other to make sure that neither of them crosses the cosmic line. That's the truth I stand in. Because I don't think this, I fucking know it. I've seen it too many times. I've experienced it too many times. And I've talked to too many people that have had the same. Have a little faith in yourself. Actually have infinite faith in yourself. If you're going to walk this course, nothing touches you until you say, I am a demon. I have a name. Please come and take me to the camp that I'm supposed to be in. No name, no game. No demonic contract. No one can touch you. No one. Nothing. You walk through as the saint. Everything bounces off you. The what-ifs go by the wayside. My what-ifs are so what the fucks. You want to play with me, come and play. You won't like the end result, I promise you. Because I'll tell you come against me now, it's going to cost you your fucking soul. You want to play with me? Oh, wait a minute, the stakes are a little high, Kate. Yeah! That's what happens when you know who you are. Nice to fuck with Mother Nature. That's the power each and every one of you wields. And all I'm asking is, can you see it for yourself, and will you be willing to stand in it? Finding truth is one thing. That's very easy. Many of us, in the course of our lives, have found many truths that we didn't quite stand in. The game is to stand. Stand to post. Do not yield. And I guarantee you, the referees and everybody in this universe class says, none shall pass. You'll get your squeaky little test here and there. Willie got his, and look, look what he did. He did his thing, stood his ground, did not yield, and boom, out he went. And like, I loved it so much. It reminded me like a Fluffy walking outside and lifting his leg to the garbage can. He cut the license up and threw it in the garbage can right up in front of the police station. And that's exactly what you do with the licentious things. A license makes you licentious, you sexually and morally depraved criminal. It's a demonic aspect. Only the demons have to be named here. And what a perfect way to hide. Well, look, we have names. Let's give everybody names, then we can hide. And nobody will know who we are. But I'll tell you, I'd be looking around for the ones that have trademarks beside their name. And I know a few of them. I've questioned a few of these people in the past, too. And I've even brought up the fact that it's all legal fiction, and still some people didn't bother to change it. So I'm thinking, oh, trademark. Well, I got a whole new dimension on that one now. Anyway, sorry, like I said, get me going, and you can't shut me up. Like tonight, I got to tell you, I've had just too many idiotic things in the last couple of days. I mean, people call me up with fucking fear porn, posting fear porn. It's like, seriously, you think I'm going to buy that? Like, it's retarded. Who are you? What are you doing this for? You have great questions one day, and the next is like, where did you go, and who's this imposter?
It's tricky. Ego is tricky. Tricky.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not even the fact that the ego is. I look at it now more from a little bit of one. I look at it from the perspective of, all right, who's going to still try to play the game with me? Who's going to still try to throw the little hooks in here and there? And I'll tell you what I do with them. I put them on the end of my cat of nine tails, and I swipe them back. It's getting mind-numbingly stupid. Like, totally mind-numbingly stupid. I think this is a point of the game you got to get to before you go, all right, you had enough yet? Get me out of here. Scotty, beam me the fuck up. Are we having fun yet tonight, guys? Have at it for a bit. I'm going to shut up now. For the universe's own good, promise.
Well, hey, to get on to Mike, when Mike was on there, right? What's his last name? I keep thinking.
Mike from the show?
Yeah, no, the other guy. The one that
Mike Tellinger?
Tellinger, yeah. The one that's done all the videos, the one that was talking about the Second Amendment and stuff.
No, you're thinking of Mark Passio.
Oh, Mark Passio,
yeah.
That's right. I get Mike Tazarian and Mark Passio confused. So anyways, well, I don't get into any of the amendments and stuff like that, but the thing is, well, number one, right, freedom to think, freedom to have a mind, freedom, and the ones that don't allow others to have that freedom, well, then the second one comes into effect. So the thing is if you yourself are free, your mind, you don't need any of the amendments. They're null and void. They're obsolete. You can delete them, see? So if you just obey the first law, right, the golden rule, you're good to go. And what part of you're an eternal being that exists forever that you're not getting? I don't need to protect anything. If this body, right, this is the thing. This is like the point in sculpting this dawning moment. This body just lasts a little while, just a little bit, right?
Yeah. Hey, hang on a sec, Richie. I don't buy. See, that's old paradigm. What makes you think your body is mortal? And what part? Oh no. Again, this is for everybody. I'm clarifying, right? So anybody that thinks the body is capable of death, well, that's a mortal way of thinking. When you understand that everything is energy and that you control the energy, it's time to get the control of that back that has been wrestled from you. That's all I want to make clear, because you can do whatever you want. You're God, for crying out loud.
Yeah. And that's why I think, like you said, the referees that are in here, this paradigm and this experience that this body that we're in just lasts a little bit of time from point A to B, that's the point where that if you're stuck between point A, there is no point A and B. If you're between those realms, that's the thing. It's trying to wrap your mind around that, and like you said too, just know this. Then the magic starts to appear within your being, your consciousness, and there's nothing to defend. That was an illusion that these beings that knew that they could control things with that. Bought it hook, line, and sinker. Like the Savior program you were talking about, right? We'll nail a guy up in a cross and tell him that he died for your sins, and they bought it. They believed it. So that's the thing.
And the other side of it, if you had tried doing what he did, this is what we're going to do to you. That's subliminal. And that whole character was like radical truther. We got Mike Cooley in here. Thank you, Michael. It's been too long since hasn't been on the show in ages. Another fellow radio host. How are you, my friend? It's great to hear from you.
Hi, Kate. I'm here.
Yes, you made it. How are you?
I've been out playing. I've been busy with all kinds of stuff, but it's good to be back and say hello to you.
Yeah. Live even instead of dead. I hate that dead one. That really sucks because there's not a lot of talking goes on there.
I know. I should just lay my head down on the block now and let you just chainsaw it up, because I've been working on my website, so I've had to deal with the demons and engaged in the trademarks and the logos and all that good stuff. So
yeah, but those
let me have.
They're dead entities, though. That's not like you're creating. Well, you are in a way creating external demons, right? But
I know,
those that actually trademark their own name is what I'm talking about.
Oh, well, no.
Yeah.
I'm still good.
No, you're fine.
Okay, I'm in good graces. All right.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're good. We got Randy jumping in here as well. So, and area code 704. Is that
Hey, Goddess.
Fabian?
Hey, Goddess. Yep.
Hey, how are you?
I'm here to be fooled. I'm getting my education.
Fabian.
Yeah. What's the comedian? I can't. Bill. George Carlin and Bill, the late great. Come on, help me out.
Murray?
Yeah, Bill Hicks. No, Bill Hicks.
Oh, Hicks, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to do my best Hicks tonight. How am I doing?
He's good, Bill. Yeah, he's funny.
So anyway,
I watched a lot of Bill Hicks videos. Bill Hicks is an interesting teacher.
Very.
Oh yeah, you can see the
Kate,
puppy
I wanted
dog.
to bring up. Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted
to
say something really quickly.
Bill. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I wanted to say.
Just a ride. It's just a ride.
I wanted to say that there was this whole thing about the Pope's canonization and all that, but then it all got eclipsed by some crazy person in L.A. who was spouting off junk about how he really felt. I mean, that's a great allegory. I mean, we're all working for people who hate our guts.
Pretty much.
And they despise our existence. But it's okay when we bring the money for the bottom line. It's a paradox. It's really a paradox.
That's the truth.
Well, you know how to end the paradox? It's simple. Do you have a price you will sell out at? If the answer is no, that's the paradox ended.
Mm-hmm.
But just think what you could do with $100 million, Kate.
Yeah, it'd make a hell of a fire, wouldn't it?
It's here for miles.
I could keep a lot of people warm. Yeah, it is useful, see? Just depends on your intent and how you want to use it.
That's it.
So I'm in the restaurant today, and I'm talking to a customer. And they said, hey, that really worked great. And I said, what? And they said, you mentioned something about cinnamon and honey. And then you mentioned something about pH paper. And so we got some pH paper, and we put it on our tongues. And we had, It didn't even register. It didn't even change the color. It just looked darker because of the saliva. And so we've cut out all this acid, and you know, I'm only using that pink packet there. And I said, you mean that's aspartame, right? That's cancer in a packet. And here, you know, we give this to people, right, if they want it, free will, right? And I just hate offering it. But that's another topic. And he said, yeah, so my pH now, I'm up around 7.4, 7.2. I'm really getting good at it and this and that. We're germinating, guys. The seeds are growing. It's getting wider and wider every minute. Not even minute. It's just every moment. And I'm loving this. And I love you guys. Glad to be here with you. I'm honored, actually. And thank you.
That's kind of strange because yesterday I wanted to talk about Himalayan sea salt or Himalayan salt, and it's pink. And they say if you mix it with water and drink it in the morning, it regulates and restores the salt. Has anybody ever heard of this before?
Yep. The other side of the Himalayan salt, though, is it absorbs radiation, but that's okay. Because that kind of. But hang on, let me self-correct everything. Doesn't matter. Oh, what you agree with is what you contract with. So if you agree that something is going to be that, then so be it. And when we have a collective consciousness agreeing on something, it is empowered with that. That's why cinnamon and honey works, because it's been a collective agreement for a very long time. That's why tarot works. It's a collective agreement. You know, these are the things. This is why when you have someone that's leading one cause or another, I mean, look at all the they're just splinter groups, right? They'll sell you enough truth or enough vengeance to satiate any salivating ego, speaking of cell salts. And if they can get you running, they got your battery, and they'll put you in series. But yeah, the Himalayan salts are I've used that for a long time. Again, for me, I just don't care anymore. I don't put any energy into it. It is what it is. You know, if I need to eat something, I'll eat it. I don't care. You know, it won't be any dead animals, but other than that, I'm pretty much okay. You know, but that's my intention, right? So I don't get into the murder, death, kill aspect of things. People ask me about eggs and whatnot. Well, I'll tell you, an egg that you're going to eat is typically just an egg. It hasn't been inseminated. There's actually no life in it. It's just a basic program. So if you want to eat, I don't, but on occasion I will. Very, very rarely. But that's probably the only thing I will touch. Again, it goes back to what is the intention behind it, right? So, again, I'm very careful with how I think about things, because how I think about things is what I'm creating. You know?
Yeah, see, I thought the same thing, Kate, too, with eggs, right? Yeah, because I'm the same way, yeah. I don't know, I haven't eaten eggs in a while, but yeah, right, because it hasn't been inseminated, right? The hens, yeah.
Yeah, it's
so right. There's no life to it. Yeah.
It's basically chicken period.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
You know. I hate to put it that way, but that's basically what it is. You know, it's like, oh, there's the egg that didn't get inseminated. Out she comes, right? Typical, natural, of course. It's all good. You know. But anyway, you know, keeping it light, keeping it fun, and keeping it mildly disgusting. Thank you very much. You know, and as much as I like to do the rant thing, it's boring, but it's fun at the same time. You know, it's whatever.
Not boring.
Well, it's
not boring.
You know, my intent is just to kind of talk to where the ego can hear it at every level, and you know, the spirit's kind of going, yeah, let's see. And the ego and the spirit are going, fucking hey, I'm in, right? And they're actually working together on it. So that's my intention anyway. But
that plays. It comes across that way. Your intent is very clear when you're, you know, if I kept telling someone, and I know I'm speaking truth, right? And I've said it, 5,000 times you've said it? I don't know how many times. You said it 1,000 times, I'm sure. You know, you're going to get to a point where the spirit's just like, God fucking damn it. Would you just, people, just see it, please. How can I make you see it? I get it. Your intent is clear. It's loving. I got it. so it's not boring.
Okay, well, I just want to make sure because I'm saying the same thing every night, just trying to say it a little
I know,
differently.
and you know what? If you don't say it and you take a break, I'll say it, okay?
I know.
And
One of you guys will...
Michael say it. Or
I don't... Randy, I totally agree, man, and I know any one of you guys can pick up this torch. But I'll tell you, if I'm ever tuning in and they're going literal, I'll be showing up.
Hey, you heard what I did, right? That's in the past. We've learned. We've grown.
Well, here's a question for everybody at the table right now. What particular subject have we talked about, or have we only been talking about the concepts surrounding them? That's what I mean about talking literal. It's where you get caught up in, well, did you know that John F. Kennedy was that's the literal shit, okay? When you say something as an example and then show the allegory of it, that's being conceptual. That's what gods do. They conceive things. They give birth. That's what conception is. Concept, right? So, and of course, when you have a concept, you must contrast or contract to give birth, right? So that's where the womb, the Virgo in each one of us, gives birth, and it's spiritual concepts to change the physical reality.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And you know it. Yep.
Seems to be a high amount of Virgos at this table. I know I'm one.
Gemini.
I noticed that. Yeah, Geminis.
Yeah, well, everyone, just I want to remind everyone, that's your game piece, very critical game piece, right? Because the Geminis and the Virgos are all about the thinking and the analytical, okay? And I've talked to, Mark, another Virgo over in the UK, to many Virgos, and that is, like a Gemini, the same problem that we all run into, and that we overanalyze or overthink things, and it's ruled by Mercury, both signs, right? So you got to slow that down a bit. But everyone has Gemini in them. They got lungs and arms, yeah, good. Everyone's got a womb, so that's called your gut feeling. You all have gut feelings. That's your Virgo. And when you get the Virgo and the Leo together, the lion and the virgin, the Sphinx, when you bring your gut instinct with the heart, and you're only thinking with your heart, now you are the one that overlooks all of Egypt. And these are the allegories to set yourself free. Remember, cosmic joke, cosmic game, and it can get pretty intense sometimes. We all know that. So try not to get lost in the intensity. I know I have countless times. But Randy, you were so right, my friend. Like even last night, it was really nothing to someone would say something and I just drop here's a little truth bomb, and it just went woof. There was the Amazon, in one seed. And that happened every single time. And you should have seen the electricity flying around that room. Oh, it was amazing.
And I love Diana. You said Amazon.
Yep. Diana the Archer.
Speaking of Diana, I saw Wonder Woman today at a brunch, but it was a hermaphrodite, entertainer.
Nice.
But isn't that weird? The Wonder Woman pops up, the Amazonian.
Yep, and the invisible airplane. I have an invisible car, and I'm a pilot, so it's an invisible airplane.
Fascinating.
Speaking of Hermes Aphrodite, oh look, Mercury and Venus. Just a coincidence.
Yeah, try giving Wonder Woman a parking ticket. Your point.
Yeah, and over here, while we're on the Wonder Woman motif, let's have a look at what does she use. She has bracelets to deflect bullets, so she doesn't need a gun. And she also has something else that she uses to get the truth out of people, and it's a silver...
crown.
Lasso. Yeah, the law of creation. Lasso. The law of creation is truth.
And the lasso's for truth.
Yeah, you can't lie when you're in that lasso, and that's the allegory of what we need to do, guys. And oh my God!
Wow.
Find truth.
Hey,
Go. Hang on a second, Richie. Find truth. Here's the steps to freedom. Find truth. Go. Oh my God, that's going to be uncomfortable to stand in, and stand in it. Don't worry, universe has you. The referees kick in at this point. Your little helpers show up. We've had many people come on and talk about the helpers that showed up to interrupt court cases and stuff. It happens all the time, but you've got to know who you are to have this happen. Right? That's you saving you, boys and girls. but I can't see it. You can't see ultraviolet or infrared either. What's your problem? Are they there? Yeah. Well, can you prove it? So, well, yeah, you just need a certain lens to see through. I just happen to see through the spiritual lens. This is why I don't think of these things or believe these things anymore, because I see them. I know they're there. They're fucking more real than this. You know, the hard stuff.
You made me smile because I envisioned Katie standing there with her lasso of truth, and that would just it got a fun little grin on my face. I thought,
yeah, but don't mistake the lasso with the cat of nine tails. You know, they're pretty close. Don't worry, I'll beat it at you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't forget the Madonna boob bra. You know, they're gross. Whatever.
You never know. She might be on the same level that you are on. You never know, right?
Oh, you never know. Absolutely. I don't underestimate anything. The only consciousness I can prove is me.
That's right.
Which leads me to another topic that I discussed with the three tattooed Christian guys who come in with their sons, you know, and they're clean cut and all that, and they wear long sleeve shirts to church and all that, and then they come in. They're talking abortion, and I said, well, I don't know, I can't prove when the soul arrives to the fetus. I don't think anyone can. You know, and they were talking abortion. I said, for me, it's free will. But, if we don't want to get deep tonight, that's cool.
Well, I'll tell you, hey, Randy,
yo.
I'm going to back you up on that, because my reality is simply this, and I can only speak for my reality. I remember the day I was born outside of the body, observing the room, and then assuming the body after it was out. So where conception is where conception is. Right? To me, like the egg and the 12 sperm that hit it, has to be 12. All zodiacs have to hit it, right? So to me, that's just the building block. And one of the reasons why I feel that the whole grabbing of the body was done at conception when it was dead of spirit. There was nothing in it, so it was an abandoned ship at that point. Okay, now follow the course of thinking here. Okay, this is very literal, very logical. If the body is not occupied by a spirit until after, which is the feeling for me, because that's what I experienced. That's my reality. You figure whatever it is for you, but that's what happened with me. I know this because it's me. But I'll tell you, for that 9 months that ship is abandoned inside the womb, anybody can lay claim to it. So exactly why did it have to be a gift when it came to registering a given name? Well, gamete interfallopian transfer. Gamete is where the sperm and egg meets for the first time. It's a gamete. That's when the egg and the sperms, plural, unite to start creating the body. So if they're going to make the claim of the gift through the given name, it only makes sense that the ship was abandoned before you even got on board. So you're the pirate, so it's time to go, wait a minute. The only thing that's going to make you a pirate is the name. The only thing that's going to make you a demon is the name. So time to abandon the ship and claim your own. Yeah? That's my thinking on it anyway. Your thoughts, guys?
Ganymede is a moon. Is the only moon known to have a magnetosphere.
Yeah, I can see where gamete and Ganymede come together. Absolutely. If you make the ends silent, you got gamete. Absolutely.
Yeah, gamet. Yes, what you're saying, Kate, absolutely resonates. What did you say about the 12th? Because that's why, like in the Bible too, when they say to be born again, to me, it's just to be born, right? And I think you're right, spot on there. Coming into this world in this body, right? Is that it's the opportunity, like you said, conception, you know.
Well, yeah, and again, like look at the contract, the fraud. The term nunc pro tunc means now for then. So the system doesn't, in the physical sense, for people working in the system doesn't know when mom and dad conceive. So it always has to be done in a past tense, now for them. Right? Nunc pro tunc for the contract. And once a fraud is revealed, it is null and void, now for them. So it looks like we just null and voided the gamete into fallopian transfer for all of humanity tonight. I think that's a good win. Well done, guys. Love the train of thought.
You're welcome.
When we talk. Thank you.
Yeah.
Didn't I tell you we do this together? Oh, my God. Kate doesn't know everything, but she can connect a daughter, too. Thank you.
And then the gamut, too. Break it, the game.
Yeah.
Gamut,
Running the gamut.
Game.
Yeah.
Running the
gamut.
That's what we're doing. We're doing it. We're getting there.
All right, so that really, there's another nail in the coffin of the free man sovereign idiots. Boy, I didn't want to be in that coffin. It's going to be a while getting out of that one. I don't know about you, but if a nail goes all the way through, I just bend it in and blend it in with the wood on the other side. So good luck hammering that one. But, so look at the train of thought there. If the ship is abandoned at conception, no one in the system knows. So it's automatically, as soon as somebody goes in to register a name, the gamete is claimed at that point. And if a gamete from mom and dad, both of them have already been grabbed through registration, well, it doesn't matter when the child the body is conceived, because it's being conceived within two slaves that don't know who they are. I've already talked about that, why, parents that don't want to register their children, well, you better get yourself sorted out first, because your slave has no say in the matter, spiritually or physically. You got a name, you haven't cleared it, you got to clear your name. Ye must be born again. And in a literal, analogical, anagogical sense, this is exactly what it means. Yeah, I think there's an essay coming up now, and that makes it even clearer.
Where does Jupiter come in, Kate? Because Jupiter is the host planet of the moon Ganymede.
Yeah. I think Ganymede is also part of the Aquarius constellation too.
Oh.
Right. So
and we're going into the age of Aquarius.
Yeah, it would make sense that Jupiter would want Ganymede as one of its moon satellites, so it's trying to punch that little puppy out of orbit. Yeah, you see how all the dots connect in a fractal?
Exactly.
Hell, we just jumped all and look at Jupiter, Peter, Peter of the Church of Rome, the keys of Peter. We have jumped all over this universe from the Aquarius constellation, Jupiter, back to Earth. And it's all telling the same thing, right into the womb, same thing.
Yeah. Hey, you know what we're doing, too, is we're breaking, and I heard this said, I think it was David Icke, right? And see, that's why I'm looking at things, and it was from this table, just twisting things and seeing things backwards, putting them in the mirror, flipping them upside down, looking left and right. And the thing is that, yeah, he says, we were born an original, right? Don't die a copy. I think it's just the opposite. I think we're born a copy, a carbon copy, and we have the opportunity to get out of here being an original. Because like we said, the DNA, we're taking on the information that the ones prior to this body is coming in to this place, and that's the thing that I know that we're struggling with. We're struggling with that information and breaking their barriers, their walls, right? Their illusions, and
here's
the
a
ones that
question for you.
See what I'm saying?
Here's a question for you. When did the birth certificates really kick into full swing?
I don't know.
1933.
Huh.
I mean, the birth certificate was actually used for trading slaves in the 1850s, likely a bit before that, but that's where they really became into prevalent use, where if they couldn't bring a slave to market, I'm sure it's been for 300 or 400 years, but let's just keep it simple. If a slave couldn't be brought to market, they would just bring a bond certificate saying that so-and-so is my slave and I'm going to sell it for this much, and As soon as I get the paper touched, never mind the signature, the DNA is all that's needed to seal that spirit contract, then that paper was a representation of a living body that could be claimed with later. And that's exactly what is happening with all of the birth certificates. Every birth certificate on this planet has got only one purpose and one purpose alone, to trade slaves. And if you are attached to one mentally and physically and spiritually, you are one. And there's only one thing you need to do to break all of those contracts, because one, there is malevolent intent with intention to deceive based on the whole concept anyway. Change the contract in your mind and heart, the contract's null and void. You don't have any paperwork to do on this. The only reason I write the paperwork up that I do is for you to understand who you are. And when you understand who you are and you filled all of that paperwork up with your aha moments because you actually read the fucking thing, and you're like, oh my God, yes, oh yeah, that's right, oh yeah, oh I'm not sure about that, I'll go look, oh yeah, it is right. Those are your aha moments. That's the gunpowder going into your H-bomb. So that when you send that little notice out, that's you going, not the piece of paper. They're just fucking words. Are they the same words that you would use to describe the same concept that you went aha with? They're very close to it? Well, if they are, gosh darn it, whose words are they? Mine? No. They're just the same words we'd all use. So whose words are they? Make them yours. Like I said, I just collect all the data, put it together. I'm a dot connector. That's my role here. Cherry pick, right. Here you go. What do you think? Oh, yeah, it works. Okay, fire it off. Okay? That's my only job here, guys.
Cherry pick. That's what I'm doing. Cherry picking, and doing some more cherry picking. And
trust your Sphinx.
I had a dream the other night too, probably 5 days ago, and that's why game ET, right, the extraterrestrials or whatever, right. And I had a dream, and I'm sitting up there somewhere, some other place, dimension. I'm like on a cloud, like I can see. I don't know. I was like on this plane. And I'm sitting, and I look to the left, right, and I see a shitload of like those tall, gray aliens, with the big black eyes. And I'm looking over at them, and they're all looking down this hole, right? Probably like a wormhole or something. I don't know how things, but I'm watching them, and all of a sudden, like about truckloads, right? They start jumping through this hole, and I'm like, and then the dream, I'm like, I wonder what they're doing. What are they doing? And then I had a dream, too. You were talking about giants, right? And I was chasing this giant around, and he's running around this bit. I'm chasing him running. He's too quick, though, so I went around the other way. And there was a bunch of people there, right? This is probably us, right, that are on this level. I'm like, all right, guys, go around that way. He's coming around. Go get him. And I love because I watched Jack and the Beanstalk there, Jack the Giant Slayer. And, yeah, the concept of that, the crown, right? Is wearing your own crown, and yeah, that was. I'm gonna watch it again too, because you're right. There's two allegories there to conceive that whole idea of what's going on, and once you're able to wear your own crown, that's when you start wielding that benevolent power,
Yeah, a good movie to watch as well, just to get the overall concepts of how the game mechanics work. Watch Adjustment Bureau. Yeah. That's a great one to show you. And the only time the bad guys can't see you is when it's raining. What is water? Truth. The only time you can't be seen is, and of course you have to wear the hat to get through the doors. That's putting your crown on, right? So the only time you can't be seen by the watchers, per se, is when you're standing in truth. So again, the watchers of the Adjustment Bureau can be seen as the good and evil at the same time, because that's what they are. And there's only one thing that can change the outcome, to rewrite the whole script. And as they say in the movie, it's love, and of course love is the law of truth. Only truth will change the script. So stop scripting.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you know what, too? I'm on this dream thing, and I had this before, probably 2 months or 3 months before I made it to this emerald stable, and I was in a school, right? And there were 2 areas to go up inside of an attic, and it completely relates to this energy. And what had happened was there were 2 people in the rooms, and I'm waiting for one of them to leave so I can go up the stairs. And I said, the hell with it, I don't care. So anyways, I just walked right by him and hit the set of stairs, and there were 2 stairways going up into the attic. So when I got up there, I was sitting there with somebody at a table. This is for real, at a table, right? And then all of a sudden, and we were talking. I don't know how many people were there. It was just, in my own mind, it was just one, but that's what we represent anyways. This is just one. And then all of a sudden, I look over and I start seeing these people walking up on each side of the stairs, and they were in perfect synchronicity, and they looked like robots, but they were people, and so they're walking up, and they, right in order. They were single file, took a left, took a right, and they started walking towards the table, and then they stopped, and they had a book in their hand, and they opened the book up, and they started speaking some language. I couldn't understand what the hell they were saying, and they started speaking it, and I looked at them and pointed at them and started laughing. And I'm like, this is what I said in the dream. I'm like, that friggin' book has no power over me, right? And all of a sudden, I got whipped down to the ground. Literally, it was like this energy, like a lasso. But it was just like this energy just enveloped me and whipped me down to the ground. And I'm like, shit, I guess this got some kind of a power. And then I just looked up at him, and I says, no, this ain't happening. I said, this shit ain't happening. And then I slowly began to move and broke loose from it. And then the look on these people's faces, their eyes, they looked like they were asleep. They looked like they were programmed.
That's the will of Leo. I don't want to cut into.
Yeah.
I really don't but we got 14 minutes here, and I just want to do a shout out, and I have another individual because I'm not sure how much I'm going to roll over tonight, if I am, but I'll do the shout out right now. So hold your thoughts, everybody. Just give me. I still have to be a radio host,
right.
People forget that. No, everyone forgets that. I know it's kind of my intention though. It's my own fault. Get it? There you go. Anyway, great big thank you to Paul Giovanni and the crew at criticalmassradio.co.uk. Great big thank you to all of you co-hosts out there that make this table yours, because it is. And for those that actually help and support in every way that you can, be it through exchanging death money for life energy. That works a treat to transmute that dead soul into living, breathing truth again. So there's a great way to transmute that energy. To everybody that's doing their part, people that are chipping in to get the word out, the ones that are doing translations of documents and being there for others. And it's nice to have a few people there I can refer others to when they're at a certain point, when I just can't deal with it anymore, because the game is simple. No name, no game. You just ponder that for a few days in meditation, and you get it. So just stay there. But if not, don't worry. There's lots of people out there that are more than willing to spend time working through your ego with you. Where I've got other things I have to be doing, and I really, not that I don't want to, but I've got more important things to focus on than ego shredding. And I know there's lots of you guys out there that can do that very nicely anyway. So we share the weight. That being said, for those that want to call in, you can call in at 661-467-2401, or you can call in through Blog Talk on the Blog Talk page. And I'm just looking up to check to see what the BTR number was, because I haven't seen it so far, but I wasn't really looking that hard anyway. See if someone's posted it. Nope, no one's posted it yet, so I can't tell you the BTR number. Fred's typing. Let me see what we got here. We might have it. We just might. Oh, hey, look at you, Fred, you Superman hero, you. It's BTR listener 053. So if you want to get on the board real easy, just put BTR listener 053 in your search, hit search, and then right-click that and hit call. That brings you right to the board. Once at the board, all you have to do is hit 1 on your dial pad, or open up the dial pad on Skype and hit 1 there. Works the same way. Lets me know that you want to jump in the call, just like Paul Scott has done. And I'm going to bring Paul Scott in before we roll out of here. And I know Richie will carry on.
Yep.
Yeah, you got a lot of wind where you are, my friend. Hello.
Sounds like he's parachute.
Yeah, it sounds like you jumped out of an airplane. Are you at 10,000 feet waiting for D-Day or what?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you there, Paul Scott?
Okay.
There you are.
I'll do that.
There you go. So what's on your mind?
He landed.
Hello.
Yep. There you are.
Who's that?
Paul Scott, it's Kate. Are you there?
Oh, hi,
Come in.
Kate. Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you? Welcome to the table.
Very, very good. I have made a few posts on your pages, but I've recently just got into what you're talking about. Although, let me turn this fan off. Sorry. Although I had an awakening probably about 2 years ago now. I'm getting terrible interference. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, you're loud and clear now.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Yeah, I had all this speech that I wanted to talk to you about, but now I'm actually talking to you. I'm thinking, what do I want to say and how do I not get so boring and get to the point? Okay, I came through a heavy pain body. I came through Eckhart. I listened to Eckhart, and it opened something in my head. And I've studied that for Eckhart Tolle, yeah. I don't care really about people complain about him because he's got all this money. I just know that he's genuine because his words resonated with me, and that's all I know. But then I went on to, where did I go from there? Structured water, sacred geometry, all the usual stuff. Like you, I was doing 10 hours a day, 7 days a week for 2 years, locked myself away in the room. Then I found Terence McKenna, and then I found DMT. And to cut a long story short, Kate, because I could go on and came through the pain and everything like you, but to cut a long story short, I've left London, I gave everything away, threw it all away, came to Mexico with 2 suitcases, and my return flight was 2 days ago, and I didn't get on it. And so now I'm here. Now I'm here in Mexico. I have my passport. I have to admit I've got it, but I was thinking about maybe cutting it up on there, but then you wouldn't be able to see it anyway. So I'll leave that line around for now until I decide a time when it can be done honestly. But yeah, I'm in Mexico. I'm in a place where there's no roads. You can only get here by boat. I've got a house. I've got 2 cats and a dog. I actually make DMT, and I've helped about 50 people since I've been here to get a little bit more understanding of who they are, because for me, DMT was a gift. I see it as a gift, purely as a gift for me. I needed it because my head was so fucked up that
I hear you.
It sorts everything out, you know. So
I'm now. By the way,
yeah.
Just so you know, I can confirm your spiritual contract of the passport already being cut up. Thank you. Well done.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
You've already done it. When you say it, it's done. Say means create.
Okay.
So
right. Well, it's gone. You know, the driving license was stolen. Not stolen. It was left in a bus in London, so that's already gone anyway. And as far as the banks are concerned and all these things, I'll let you into a little secret. I used to rob them. My job was robbing banks. But not in the way that you think, because I had bank managers who were as corrupt as they come, and they were up for anything. Unfortunately, they took 50% of the proceedings, you know, so we never really got much money out of it. But that's another long story for another day. But yeah, I definitely get where you're coming from. The phonetic side, I'm a little bit slow on. I'm catching up and reading your writings, but in terms of everything else, I'm bang on it. Absolutely bang on it. The shift in me was phenomenal. Even people said to me, Chris, you're a completely different person. And I've lost a lot of friends. I lost family. I lost all of them. But they can just fuck off because I just can't be bothered with them anymore. That's their problem, like you say.
Yeah. As much as you hate to say it, you have to say it. And
exactly.
You know, that's called living up to the responsibility. And I'm glad you mentioned the bank thing because I was reading this article today about bankers in Vietnam getting executed by firing squad and whatever. And of course, I read a bit of the article, and it was so, well, you know, people, these guys just got too greedy, and you know, we just want to get back to business as usual. Yeah. I know. Yeah. Isn't that the truth? That is.
Isn't brilliant?
You know?
But just going back to the psychedelics, one thing that I must tell everybody about. I mean, it's so phenomenal. I still think about it every day. When I found the DMT, I did 3 months research on it, and I realized that 5-MeO was the one for me, because that's the universal cleanser. It's like a universal cleansing station for deeply infected people. Okay, and the 5-MeO. I'm going to tell you this experience, and it's 100%. I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay, and I have a question for you regarding that, because I have a little DMT powder here. I was going to ask a couple of things about it. So go ahead.
Okay, so the 5-MeO is actually far more powerful than NN-DMT, and you have to be very careful about how much you take, because part of it comes from the back of the Bufoten frog. It's because it's got DMT on the frog, you know, so it's a very, very powerful one. The NN-DMT is very visual, very fractal, and you go for a breakthrough, which is hard. But the 5-MeO, I lay there in my tiny little room. By the way, this stuff sat in my fridge for 3 weeks before I had the balls to even try it. But I did it one night with a candle on, some Japanese music, and I took a big hit. And what happened, Kate? It's imprinted on my brain as me talking to you right now. Basically, what happened was I got this massive rush, and then I was in this place. My eyes were open. This figure came out from the side. It's like I was lying on the table, and this black figure, you know Alex Gray, the artist, that all that work he does? Similar to that, but the figure was complete black. He put down his arms, and he put them inside my chest, and he pulled all these black rods out. Now, I noticed there were about 3 or 4 black rods to the side of me, but it was like my body lifted up, and I let out a cry, and it was like all this pain and hurt was just ripped out of me. Then I was enveloped with the most intense love. Now, I know what love is because I felt it, physically felt it. Then, this is the kicker, then it was like he had a little box, and he opened it up to give me a little quick sneak preview of what the end game was. I don't like to use the word end game, but that's the only way I can describe it. It was like he showed me what it all was, and I jumped back off the bed, screaming, going, "Oh my God, oh my God!" And I physically felt connection with everything, and I mean everything. So that's why nothing is a mystery anymore, because I know that it's all connected. And then if there was a come down, it was like 1,000 ecstasy tablets. I mean, when I came back from it, I wanted a woman to just be in that room. You know, I was feeling that hyped up for it. But the main thing is that the cleansing from the inside. So DMT was my trip. It's different from everybody else's. I know a lot of people don't agree with it, but you have to ask yourself, why is it on this planet? Why is it in your brain? Why is it here? Why is it there? It's a tool. Like your show, like the post, it's a tool. It's there to help you if it calls you. It's not a party drug, but if it calls you, it can help you. And I've been helping. There's a lot of people where I am now, Kate, and they're all, you know, retirees or they're expats from Canada and America. And they're all, very spiritual, and they go up in their little houses, and they do yoga, and they do all this chanting and stuff. And I've started showing people your writings, and they fucking glaze over. It's like I'm talking to a zombie. I'm saying, do you not read English? Do you not fucking get? This is what you'd be doing. This. Oh, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I think, do you know what? I'm wasting my time. So I'm going to do, when I get enough money for my printer, I need some black ink. I should get some next week. And I'm just going to print this stuff out, and I'm just going to drop it in the restaurants, in the bars, and in people's handbags or whatever. I'll get it out here. So that's all I wanted to say.
Much obliged. And that's all it takes, my friend, just to plant the seeds, you know. And I keep telling people that. Yeah, the stuff I have is kind of a beigey, yellowy beige.
Perfect.
Powder.
Perfect. Perfect.
Now, I was told that you do not need much of this.
Yes.
And you smoke it.
Yes. Now, I'll tell you, the best way to smoke it is using the DMT machine. It's very, very simple. Do you have miniature alcoholic bottles where you are, Kate? You know, the little miniature brandy bottles? Yes. You get a miniature brandy. I mean, I'll send you the details if you want. You get a miniature brandy bottle. You need to you need to empty it, clean it out, and you need to drill a hole in the bottom. Okay. And then you put some of for the filter, you use that metal gauze thing, but you have to burn it over the stove, fill it up, and you can only, you only put in, if you want a full dose, 60 milligrams. But if you've never done it before, I would do a small amount, just so that you get used to it, because it's so powerful. Yeah, test drive. Yeah, seriously, because you see, the secret with this DMT, Kate, is that you must not give in to astonishment. You must go with it. Many people who have helped with this, they tend to fight it, and they want to get out of it, because they're panicking, because it's so overwhelming and so strange, but nothing bad will happen to you. It's all good. I've had my arse slapped by them a couple of times. In fact, I did it last night on the floor. I was lying on the kitchen floor, all the windows and doors open. I was just gone. It was wonderful. But the last time I did it, I had a bit of ink on me, and the fuckers came and kicked my arse. They're there. They tell you, don't you fucking drink when you come and do this, boy. I've had my arse slapped. So you have to respect it. You have to respect it, and you have to do it in the dark and be very quiet.
I hear you. I totally hear you. The instructions.
And tell you what, Kate, when all this shit kicks off and when you're able to travel again, come to where I am. I've got a hammock. I'll do a session for you. Don't you worry.
Excellent. I already had that in my imagination rolling through. I said, I'm going to go hang out with this guy. We're going to have some fun.
Well,
there's usually a being that shows up. Huh? When people do that, they say usually it's a woman, though. They say, but this. So
Sorry, you've got ayahuasca. Let me tell you briefly. Ayahuasca is the brew, which is made from the tree of the vine of souls. That's the mama. That's the mother. DMT is the daddy. Okay.
I got you.
Now you do the ayahuasca. You drink it. You puke up. You go through all the chanting. It's like 3, 4, 5 hours, and it's very gently. Mother Gaia will put her arm around you, and she'll show you all your things and where you've gone wrong and guide you. Yeah. DMT is for hardcore motherfuckers. That's me. I want straight to the source. That's what I wanted. So doing DMT compared to ayahuasca is like driving a Formula One car against a pedal cart. That's how powerful it is. Yeah. But once you're there, it is astonishing. My friends here, one guy in particular, he's never touched drugs. We call him sick, healthy guy. He's 64, but he's super fit, but he's always getting sick. He would never do drugs, but he says, the one thing I want, he says, is DMT. So when I showed up with it, his eyes popped out of his head. So I gave him a session, and he got downloads. All he got was downloads. He says, they come up to my head, and we're working on my head and fixing everything, got downloads. Women are the best, actually, because they're easier, they're more receptive to it, so they're easier to let their feel it, not to get tangled up with it and to just let it go. And men are the worst. They tend to fight it and go, what the... But I'll tell you something now. Every single person that I've given DMT here, regardless of what's happened, everybody says when they come back after 5 or 10 minutes, because it's very short, they go, the one word they say, they all go, fuck!
I got to tell you, I'm going to back you up completely where I had my vision on March 15th without anything. For me, it was, I just think coming down off of the Friday night event with running the cops off for the last time and not sleeping a whole lot. And anyway, I fell into a deep sleep. And I do remember, I remember it like it was as real as this. And I remember when I was being literally lifted, like rising out of the body up through what looked like the Stargate shimmer. And the whole way up, I was, a voice was asking me, are you ready to let go? Can you let go now? Are you ready to let go? And I just kept saying yes, and I was bawling my eyes out. And I said, yeah, I'm done. I'm good. And then it was like, okay. And as soon as I come through this shimmer on the other side, I hear this beautiful, it's like this, the most stunning array of, and there are nothing in my reality tops a chorus line of black women singing their hearts out. There's nothing in my musical reality can top that. Okay, sorry.
That's amazing. That's I mean, are you saying that you reached that without taking anything? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. And then
wow.
As soon as I hear all this singing going on, I heard this voice like it was Monty Hall. You have been chosen. And I'm thinking,
you see,
okay.
Yeah. Well, you see, I'm still trying to, even though I've done it a few times, not many, but I have done it a few times. I've been trying to get a breakthrough, and that's when you see the chrysanthemum. There's like a high-pitched sound, and you pop through, and the entities are there. It's like Terence McKenna says. If you listen to Terence McKenna, he's the only person that I would listen to about a DMT experience. But when I hear people saying, no, they can do it without that, I always get a little bit suspicious because I'm sure there's a few crackpots out there. They say, oh, I can astral plane and I can do this and I can do that. And I'm thinking, yeah, right, I bet if I put you on the sofa and you with 60 mils of DMT, you'd be shitting bricks, at the other side of your trip, But if you can do that naturally, then, or then hats off to you.
Well, I think what happened to me was just from such a prolonged period of, I'm talking stress, just my experience of what I've been through, and what it felt like. And I got to say, when I fell back asleep in the body, you would call it wake up in the body.
Yeah.
When I fell back asleep in the body to this reality, it was like I looked around and I said, "What? Where the fuck am I? What am I doing here?" Yeah. And it was just the biggest letdown I've ever experienced. But I think it was just a culmination of all of that pressure leaving it and experiencing a natural DMT explosion.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the way I see DMT is if it's calling you, then you're allowed to use it. But all it is a portal. It's a window to show you something, And if you don't get it or you don't understand it, then maybe you need to do it a few more times. I love it, by the way.
Well, let me ask you a question. I've got a few for you actually, because like I said, I've had this stuff for probably about first one came in about 6 months ago, and the other little bit came in about 3 months ago, and I got more on the way, including a glass pipe or whatever. But anyway, I am always very even with Salvia Divinorum, which is for me very intense. I can control it, I can hold it, but it's to me it was a bit too zany.
Yeah.
It was too chaotic where it was too much all at once, and that's why I learned to hold it and experience it that way. But I look at this stuff with more respect than I would look at an atomic bomb sitting in front of me.
Tell me about it. I feel blessed to have this because I'm thinking I'm doing something wrong. Because I'll be honest with you, it cost me a lot to make it, and not a lot to make it. It's a lot of time and a lot of trouble because I'm in a remote place. And this stuff is in Mexico where I'm living, but you try and get hold of it here, it's a fucking nightmare. I had to order it from bloody Holland, and it took 8 weeks to get here. The powder that I need to, the Mimosa Hostilis. Yeah. But I've got 4 trays. I wish I had a picture. Well, I'll actually take a picture and send to you. I've got 4 trays, and it's just cultivating. All the crystals are forming. I make crystals, you see, so it's pure crystal form. So I know I'm getting the daddy stuff. Go on.
Well, here's a question for you. Now, I've told you the color. You're familiar with the colors of it. So what is this actually?
Well, the white. See, where did you get it from? First of all, without giving names, how did you get it?
A very trusted source that makes it. Not in Canada.
Okay, so they've obviously used Mimosa Hostilis to render it. Sometimes it comes out. All depends on the process, on how you make it. But the yellow, whitish, it's all good. But you've got the powder, which is what I had the first time. But since I've been making my own, I make it in the crystal form, and it's so potent. It is so potent, okay?
Okay, well, I'm
in fact, you're all invited down for a DMT session. Everybody, come on down.
There you go. You're the next contestant on. You are chosen.
I am.
Send me the coordinates.
The code name for it now is Dimitri, so I'm now known as Dr. Dimitri.
We're all going to Mexico.
Exactly. And all the times I've been down there, I didn't know where you were, but there you go. But anyway, so just a little bit of this, and I was told that you're supposed to use glass, not metal.
Yes, a glass pipe. Yeah, definitely a glass pipe is the best way.
They don't do it the first time on your own, Kate.
What's that?
Well,
they don't do it the first time on your own.
Well, I did because I was foolish enough to do it. But normally when I'm dealing with people here, we have a sitter. We have somebody who just sits in case they open their eyes, just to make sure that everything's okay. Because you're still fully in control of your mind. You don't lose anything. You can open your eyes and you can see things. I mean, what I do, Kate, now, I'm a bit naughty. I'm sitting here on a Friday or Saturday night, and I'll think, fuck it, I'm going to have like a little half measure. Because I'm not going to go under and lie down. I'll sit in the chair, open my eyes, and I just see the Matrix. And as I speak, shapes are coming out my fucking mouth. So it is the word of God. As you speak, shapes happen. I mean, they do it.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
No, I know. Kate would be fine doing it by definitely.
Oh no,
I was sure you had done it already, Kate, with all the brilliant knowledge you had. I was absolutely positive you had done it, and you did it on a regular basis.
Yeah,
Kate be like, this is it, man. This is how I always am.
I've had a lot of experiences without really anything. I mean, the hardest core stuff I did was acid in high school. I've done mushrooms a couple of times, which I find to be beautiful because it's a nice peaceful walk through the park. It's not as intense, but I mean, as far as and of course LSD is again the same sort of thing, just not as deep. You're still not quite there yet, but that's what I mean about salvia. I've done that a few times, and I always feel bad coming back. It's like I call it the long walk home, which I love. The long walk home. Yeah. But I've never done DMT.
I think you have no idea what you're in for until you actually kind of meet it. I haven't done it myself, but I have 500 grams of Mimosa hostilis root bark, and I'm just looking for the best. There's quite a few methods of production. I'm just looking for the best, and I guess the easiest way to produce it.
Yes, it's very easy. It's very easy to make. It just takes a bit of time, but it's very easy to do. And if you want instructions,
do you have a procedure?
Yes, I can show you how to do that. Yeah, if you email me or message me, I can get that out to you. It's very simple.
Brilliant.
So, but but Kate, you can't OD on DMT. Okay.
Oh, I know that. It's natural. It's you.
But
can't
60
OD on
milligrams.
yourself.
KO though.
But try a little bit first, so you get the because it comes on instantly, and the best way to do it is two tokes, two deep tokes. Hold it for about 10-15 seconds. Push it right down. Hold your breath like you're going to pass out, and then exhale very, very gently, and it comes on like a fucking train, just bang.
Okay, good. So there's the express train. No waiting. Just grab the rope on the side of it, and away you go. Yeah. Okay.
And everybody comes back going, fuck, what was that? What was it? And they can't think about it. They all come back with a smile on their face, and they're like, oh my God, I get it now.
Myself, I had this Mimosa hostilis for the last year and a half, and I've been reluctant in the sense because I know that there's a before and an after, especially for my own mind. So I have it there. So I wonder, does it go stale? Actually, I don't think it would do.
No. Just keep it wrapped up. Keep it in a container and put it in the fridge.
Yeah. Oh well, I have to get the process from you then. Thank you.
Here's a question for you. Is your Skype still listed in London, UK?
No. Yes, it is probably. Yeah.
Okay, and you might have something along the same lines as, let's just say your name would fall into the Jesus Christ category.
Yes.
What is okay?
Christ top her. Can you break that?
You're this, you're that, you're in danger. Shut the fuck up. Take your seeds that you like to plant and shove them up your own fucking ass, because I haven't got time for it. Right? I find it more than humorous and quite crazy when this stuff shows up. I'll tell you, the only thing that's going to make me question is, one, your intent, and two, your sanity. For anyone that even thinks or claims to know me over any length of time, really should know better. So before you shit your diapers and get all panicky, breathe. Think about what you're saying and what seeds you're planting. Are you willing to take the responsibility for those? Because every seed you plant, you're going to harvest. That's how the golden rule works. That which you wish upon another, you have wished equally upon self. Time to take responsibility for self. If you can't say something benevolent and creative, well, shut the fuck up. Does that spell it out for you? And on that note, let's carry it back. So I get questions on occasion regarding different individuals, different entities on this planet as far as, who they are, what they're really selling. And I'm asked for my opinion on things. Well, I have my opinion on on everything that I get asked. Of course I do. But sometimes the answer will be, well, I'm not sure yet. I haven't really felt that one out. But as soon as something enters my reality, I know it's for a reason, so I go and feel it out and see what I come up with. And there's a couple of standard things that I like to base my observations on from a neutral position. You know, while everyone's running around being subjective to this literal nonsense and that literal shite, you're not being very objective. And to be objective is to stand over something, not getting emotionally involved in it, regardless of how crazy it might seem. Stand back and breathe and go, what do I need to see here without reacting to someone else's cause? And that's really as simple as it gets. It's one of the reasons, and probably the only reason why I've been able to decipher as much as I have. Because I don't get caught up in the mental whitewash that most people like to. I've lost count of the number of people that at one point in my life were very close only to be gone. For what reason? Well, I'll take the responsibility of not being a good enough teacher at that point. And the likelihood of them returning at this point, slim to nothing, and that's okay. All things are perfect, all things for a reason. I'll leave all sense of guilt with the physical fucking religiocosis chosenitis drilled into the religion, I don't care what religion it is, mental cases. Cointel Pro, how to spot Cointel Pro. It's really easy. But you got to get objective on this stuff. I'm just checking for something here right now. And I'll tell you, anybody that, fucking spammers. I've been getting hit with spam like crazy over the last few days. Few weeks, actually. That's how I know I'm making a difference. Some chick, Hannah B. Rasmussen, talking about pushing money on people. Oh, it's a great honor to testify to the Home Supportive Program. They support our families in paying bills and build a good credit. Well, take your commerce, demon worship, and shove it up your ass, Hannah B. Rasmussen. Okay, click. Report as spam or abuse. That's what I think of it. I just get rid of it. But I put my intent out, you see, because anything I send out is contract. Any questions? It's the power you wield. And I've said this many times too. Kate, what kind of response did you get from that? So none. I don't expect any. And I don't need any to confirm that I'm right. I don't need permission to be right because I know I am. When I send something out, I send it out. Here is my awareness contract in my position of now, sent with the most benevolent intent to destroy all things that have malevolent intent. It's a pretty straightforward contract, if you want to call it that, and that's what it is. My intention goes out, pure and simple. I don't care if somebody has an issue with it. I've only ever had a few responses in all the years I've been doing this. And the only responses I get are from retarded meat sticks. I'm going to sick a lawyer on you. Go for it. Make sure you send the stuff to them, because this is the fuckers I want to get this information to wake them up. You know, if you look at it, it's almost like college or university. You know how you go and you have to go and pick your classes, and you got people trying to recruit someone for this particular course and recruit for that and all the rest of it. That's exactly what these trademark demons are doing. Which club you want to join? This one's going straight to hell. Come on with us. It's got all the toys and all the gadgets and gadgets. And, you know, do you remember what happened in the Pinocchio story? All the lost boys that decided, the runaways and everything else, the rebels, the truthers, if you will, they all headed into the carnival. And every one of them except Pinocchio and Jesus Christ. Oh, Jiminy Cricket, same initials. John Carter, whatever, right? The only thing that saved Pinocchio was his conscience, or consciousness, the JC consciousness. Every other one of them turned into the asses that they were. And they got to be slaves. So for all you guys in the system, cops and all the rest of it, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a club you're going for. Have at her. That's what you want, obviously. By your actions, you're known. ignorance is not a defense of it. It's not like we haven't told you. Have a look for yourself. Don't be such a retard. But if that's what you want, I'm going to unconditionally love you right to it. Knock yourself out. That's something I would do. Certainly not something I'm going to promote. What I am going to promote is your sense of pure perfection that is just going to get ripped and raped and pulled away. But then again, you've only got forever to think about it. So, that's going to be a longer climb out, don't you think? So how do you spot Cointel Pro, or as I call it, Cointel idiocy? It's one or the other. You're either a raving idiot or you've got an agenda. You're one of the recruiters. Something I posted today regarding trademarks. I thought, oh, what a perfect way to permanently mark a demon, because demons must have names. Cosmic law says, you're a demon. You got to walk around with a name tag if you're in this realm. So why do you think they want everybody to have names so you couldn't tell us apart? If everybody's got a name, well, everybody's a demon then, aren't they? The of me. Best lose that, eh? Time to exercise your rights. As in the removal of a demon ritually. Exercise your rights. Because, excuse me. Here's a couple of things that I look for. I don't have to look anymore. I just feel it as soon as I read something. Or as soon as a post comes up. I'll cover a couple of shills that I know.
You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Good evening. Welcome to Outside the Box. Yours truly, live at the helm, Kate of Gaia, here on criticalmassradio.co.uk. What are we going to talk about tonight? Boy, lots of weird, wild, and wonderful stuff going on right now, and my, oh my, how quickly people get distracted and lose sight of what's going on and get all drama and fear-porned and, oh no, the world of Chicken Little, shut the fuck up. How's that work? That works for me, doesn't it? Anyway, yeah, the wolf is everywhere, guys. And they'll come guised up in, meat suits, meat sticks, bodies of all manner, all shape, all form. And, part of your family, part of your friends, part of the work, part of everything you can imagine. Wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to want to entrap your soul and, not put some serious effort into it. That's why I go back to Gravity Falls constantly, and the one thing that stood out most in every episode was the sign that said, "Trust no one." That includes me, because I can't say it often enough or strong enough. You have to be the one to save. You do not be deceived. The unsee truthers, deceivers, or deceivers, which is the of creating truth or not creating truth, right? Remember the quad nature of every word. Positive, negative, masculine, and feminine, right? It's really the only thing that I can share, are things that I uncover for myself, based on my own intuitive, and I share them. Cherry picking from wherever I see things that resonate, and typically following the things that interest me, that resonate with me anyway, as something I dig, and not being distracted by the entertainment. Enter the mirror of the mind. That's what entertainment means. Tain is mirror. And I make my own choices, my own decisions, my own understandings based on my own intuitive feelings by shutting off the ego stereo left brain that's constantly blaring at full blast. It's called emotions. And while that stereo is blaring, the very subtle tones of these entities that are sucking the life force right out of you cannot be heard. They're quite audible, but not at the levels your stereos are running at. This is why, I do weary of people tagging me on Skype or Facebook or whatever the hell the case may be, dramatizing all manner of crazy shit. And that's all it is to me. If there's fear attached to it, that's a physical-based emotion. I'm going to say it again. How much fear does an immortal God or spiritual being have? Do we need to really go through what immortal means? Well, if you don't understand it, it's just saying that I'm mortal versus not mortal. So, again, quad nature, I'm modus operandi of the spirit, breath, and truth of creation of all, I'm mo, ro, ti, al, right? I can't stress this enough. I've been people tagging me regarding, you're people like Kevin Annett. I'm questioning a lot of others these days as well. People like Sasha Stone. Now, whether they're Cointel Pro or just idiots, I'm going to list them anyway. You got Tammy Pepperman. Yeah, I'm here to make friends. Did you know that? I'm here to be popular. Let me see. Right now, while Dean's in jail, I'll put him on that list. As soon as he wakes up, he'll be fine. Or if he doesn't, well, then we'll know who he is, won't we? I don't fucking care either way, personally. Who else? Let's get on the list. Winston Strout. I'm going to call them all out. I got to tell you right now, I don't know who the hell Santa Bonacci is, but I'll put him on the list. I think it's more out of ignorance, but hey, I've been known to be wrong. And that's okay, I don't mind being wrong. Egg on the face? No problem. Wipe it off. Let me see, who else we got? While we're at it, let's just fucking call them all out. Jordan Maxwell. It's only a few people. I got to tell you, I love Mark Passio, but until you lose that Second Amendment fucking meat stick gun thing, bud, you're on the idiot list. Boy, the list is short for people that I can actually look at and go, cool. Siobhan Bomer, Bill Donahue. Let me see. Who else? I'm sure we can think of lots of people here. Maybe I can get you guys to ask some questions tonight. Michael Tellinger. There's another good one. There's a guy that just knows a little too much. Too many things. Okay. Here's the things I look for. Just run these through your fingertips. Some of these people I've met up close and personal. Some I've talked to for years. Okay. Are they selling vengeance? Common law court, we're going to go in and take care of business. Yes, you are, vengeance, boys and girls. How about physical techno-shite? We're going to save you with free energy. Financial security. OPPT, stuff like that. Nasara. The dinar. Bitcoin. Swiss Indo. How about legal remedies? Anybody that's involved in let's just put the whole fucking list down. Free man on the land movement. And sovereign citizens. I'm writing this stuff down because when I cast spells, I cast them hardcore. Freeman, sovereign, slaves, citizens, same thing. Don't know who they are. Because I'll guarantee you, if any one of these individuals is still using the name, well, you're either a demon by omission or commission. So I'm just going to tell you that. Let me see, what else we got? Legal remedy, there's a good one. Anything with a savior external, trying to save you from the outside. That includes all clergy. At this point, until they wake up within, all police, lawyers, judges, kings, queens, lawyers, judges, etc., presidents, prime ministers. That includes groups like CIA, FBI, CSIS, Mossad, any of these organizations that are working on the behest of their masters. And there's not many, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of planetary, there's not many of the key entities that are running these little rah-rah cult clubs. But I will tell you that there are many, far many more, that get bought and paid for with their egos, because they're stuck in a meat stick, right? So they can be bribed with things like holidays and really big incomes and cars and yachts and everything else, and then all of a sudden they start getting into their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s and dropping dead, and what do they know at that point? Well, they know that they've sold out, right? And here's the thing, when you sell out, no put options on this one, baby. Things like fame, anyone that's after fame to be in the spotlight all the time. This is exactly what I didn't want. All right, so look for these things. But anyway, there was a post regarding some Texas senator that had her name trademarked, and intuition went off. Hey, well, we've been really exposing the name thing in terms of what they are as demons, and your demon name tag, your mark of the beast. Well, wouldn't it make a lot of sense that those that have to be seen, well, then you're going to start seeing the trademarks popping up on their name. So I would be very cautious to anyone that has a fictitious legal trademark beside their name, because 1, it's nonsense. 2, it's system. 3, you can't trademark something that isn't yours. So you're in spiritual fraud at that point anyway. I've said that for years. I got to tell you guys, there's not much I continue saying that I haven't said for years. And I constantly ask myself, why am I doing this? Bob, we need to talk, because I'm really wondering, why the hell am I doing this? Is it for self-gratification? Not at all. It's just my role as far as I see it. And I'll play it until it doesn't need to be played anymore. But, these entities typically attach themselves to topics and causes to lure the attention of their cult or their particular group they want. Like take the likes of a Kevin Annett, Here's a guy that comes with a great cover story, and this is going back to the 90s, early 90s, and attached himself to the Canadian Native genocide cause, and which is noble, of course. People are going to resonate with that, entire cultures, there's many people in the Native community can know who this guy is and can see right through him. I've had a few of them on the show. I often found it interesting, or not interesting, but a little bit disconcerting that no sooner did I hear about some witness that had seen a crime committed by the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh, fucking wankers, that this witness all of a sudden shows up dead. They're murdered by cops in front of a church, in the case of one, and killed outright. I think there's at least 6 witnesses that I know of, or 6 people that were attached to Kevin Annett that died before giving flesh testimony. And anyone who knows anything about this game knows that any written testimony is dead. Paper can't talk. The one reading it out is the one's voice that's carrying, not the one that actually saw it. So it's empty and dead. Dead men tell no tales. That's why you got to get your bulletproof monk on, babies. You better lose that name right quick, and you better get the concept right quick, too. This game's wrapping out. I don't know if you've noticed it lately. I mean, hey, what's the latest? I went to the garbage can today. I like to check the bin on occasion. They've got, I don't know who this, what's his name? He's got to lose the fear porn. And again, they're still pulling these people in. Kevin Annett, eyewitnesses to Pope Bergoglio rape of teens, killing and eating babies, and satanic ritual. Yeah, these people that are attaching themselves to this need to have their heads examined.